Are you Miss Staples?
Yes, how can I help you?
So we got kind of a weird phone call. Do you know Latricia?
No.
No.
I don't know anybody out here.
Some lady called DCFS. And,
What?
And kind of made some claims that you had a child that accidentally shot themselves.
Absolutely not.
This all went down on the night of the 25th of July, 2023, when cops got called to a family home in Rock Island, Illinois. They showed up after this super alarming call, saying a kid had allegedly shot themselves. But here's the thing, nobody really knew who the kid was, what actually happened, or if any of that even made sense. Honestly, even the officers who got there looked totally stunned, and that's saying something compared to the mom of supposedly 4 kids, Sushi Staples.
You've never had a son named Zion.
No.
One of the calls from 2021, DCFS came out to your residence in Chicago, and there was a Zion Staples there.
But, oh man, the second visit the very next day ended in something horrifying, a discovery that totally shocked and outraged everyone. You're tuned into the Jackson channel here. Every case has a face. Every crime has its own story. I'm just getting started on this journey, so I'd love for you to drop in the comments what story you want me to cover next, and also what I could tweak to make my videos more comfortable for you to watch. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's dive in. So the 25th of July, 2023 started out as just another normal day for most people in Rock Island. But for one mum, her kids, and a few cops, the next few days would turn out completely differently. It all kicked off when an anonymous person reached out to the Department of Children and Family Services, saying they were worried about a neighbour's kid. Now, this wasn't the first time this person had contacted DCFS, but only after some seriously alarming info did they start taking it seriously. This person was actually a neighbour and a friend of a woman named Sushi Staples, who had a few kids. Strangely, Sushi told her friend that her son, Zion, would never be coming home for Christmas again. And honestly, you'd probably agree that doesn't exactly sound comforting, right? So, Sushi and her kids had been living in Rock Island for a few years and hadn't moved around much. For most of her kids, the house on 20th 2 Avenue had been home since the day they were born. Sushi worked as a nurse at Mercy One Genesis Hospital, just a few miles away, and she was also taking classes at the local community college, trying to get her education going a bit later in life. Sushi had officially divorced her husband, and oh man, it was a messy breakup. By the time it was over, they basically hated each other. And when her ex started seeing another woman, well, that just made things worse. And it seemed like his new girlfriend couldn't stand Sushi either. But he wasn't the only father of her kids. Sushi actually had 8 children spread out over many years. Her 2 oldest kids had been deemed unfit for care and eventually ended up under DCFS supervision. There were a lot of rumours explaining why Sushi never wanted to see her ex again, and why she had a gun. From the outside, the Staples family looked pretty normal, happy even. By 2023, it was just Sushi and her 4 youngest daughters living in the house. Neighbours remember seeing the girls outside, drawing with colourful chalk on the driveway, playing together, just normal kid stuff. Life was modest. Financially, the family wasn't super stable after the divorce and everything that had happened before and after. So here we had a single mum doing her best to raise at least 4 kids. And let's be real, being a single parent is always insanely hard. And Sushi, she had a few more mouths to feed. That's why she was getting government assistance for each child living under her roof. We're not going to throw exact numbers around, but it was clear she was trying to improve her situation. Like I said, she was working full-time and going to college, definitely a positive thing. But for at least a little while, the family obviously couldn't afford any luxuries, no new car, no vacations. Some neighbours noticed Sushi talking about going to church, but she never actually went. And about schooling, or the lack of it, none of her kids had ever really attended school. So here's the thing, Sushi believed in homeschooling. Now, I'm not here to judge that, but if you're going to teach your kids at home, you probably want to be pretty well educated yourself, right? The Staples kids were basically cut off from the rest of America, no school, hardly ever left the house, which, yeah, made it really hard for anyone else to keep track of them. And that lack of oversight started to worry some neighbours, especially about her 5th child. They hadn't seen her son Zion for months, and that's when some weird comments started popping up. I don't know about you guys, but nobody just strolls around town and says their kid won't be coming home for Christmas. Seriously, nobody says that unless they mean something. So after Sushi made that grim comment to a neighbour, they reached out to DCFS and eventually the police got involved too. Everything really kicks off on the 25th of July 2023. That's when officers showed up at Sushi Staples' house after DCFS had contacted the police to check on the well-being of her kids. As the officers approached the house on the 1700 block of 20th and A 2 Avenue, it was immediately clear that Sushi was not thrilled about their visit. And honestly, I get it, lots of people have lost trust in the police. But Sushi didn't just look annoyed, she looked straight up aggressive. Now, the body cam footage which you're seeing here has a ton of long, boring stretches, so for this video, I've cut it down to just the most important parts.
Are you Miss Staples?
Yes, how can I help you?
So we got kind of a weird phone call. Do you know Latricia?
No.
No.
I don't know anybody out here.
Some lady called DCFS. And,
What?
And kind of made some claims that you had a child that accidentally shot themselves.
Absolutely not.
As you can see, the officers didn't waste any time. They were there to figure out what actually happened with Zion and weren't about to beat around the bush. But here's the thing, you've got to notice this. Sushi didn't look surprised at all that her kid was allegedly dead. I mean, honestly, any mum would probably be totally shocked hearing that for the first time. But she just brushed.
No, it sounds crazy to me too. That's what.
I am so sorry about this. My ex-husband, his new girlfriend, this broad is off the chain. I have went down to Rock Island and filed a police report on her.
Okay.
I have went and put a restraining order on her.
What's her name?
Her name is Tony. This girl is never in it. She has so many different Facebook pages she stalks me from. She has made up different names, called me from different numbers. I have changed my number, tried to do everything I can.
Right.
Unfortunately, I can never seem to get them served because they're always bouncing around in the Chicago area.
Oh, okay. They're not even down here.
They're not even out here. And
Okay.
it's been a constant.
Have we been here before?
No, you've never come to my house for anything. I've been here for 7 years and never had a problem in Rock Island.
Yeah, I didn't know who you were.
I work at Genesis Hospital. I'm a patient care tech. I'm a student at Eastern Iowa Community College.
Okay.
I have a business in Davenport. This girl has made threats towards me on Facebook, posting her gun up, saying that she's gonna come to my addy. It's just never ending.
Right. So they made some allegation that you had a son and he shot himself
Sir,
and he's in your
come
basement.
on now. You think, look where I live.
She stayed irritated and defensive the whole time she was talking to the officers, and the moment they asked to check out the basement, she flat out said no.
No, I get it. Just so I can check the box off, can I look in your basement real quick and I'll get out
No,
of here?
you need a search warrant to do that. I'm sorry, I'm not about to have my rights violated because someone makes Uranus allegations like this.
I know. Like I said, it sounded crazy to me too. I'm just up here seeing if, we have to investigate it, no matter how crazy it sounds.
If you want to do that, I would suggest you go through the proper protocols. I'm not about to let some crazy woman who now has my husband make Uranus accusations like this and have my rights violated.
No, I get it. That's what
That is not okay. I have 4 girls in here.
That's what I'm just asking. I'm not
4 children.
I'm not trying to blame anything on you. I'm not saying this is true. I was just asking. And you guys only have girls?
Yes.
Okay.
I have 4. Do you want to see them?
No. They said it was a son. I was just curious if that's even true.
It's not.
Okay.
It's a never-ending story with these two.
I get, like I said, I'm not trying to bother you or anything, but we get a call, no matter how crazy it sounds, we still got to come up and see if there's any truth. All right. Well, sorry to bother you. Okay. It's like I said, we get a call, we got to show up.
They got to the point now where they don't have my phone number, so they emailing me. Okay, I have spam emails here from these people. I'm gonna go down here. The last one I got was, let me see.
Does it have a name on it?
Yes, it has his name on it. I have to go here. This is the last one I have. And this gotten to the point where they're emailing me because they don't have a contact phone number on me.
Right.
This is how bad the harassers got.
Okay.
But until I can get Rock Island to Cook County to serve them and actually find an address on them,
Right.
that's going to be a problem. So they keep having me come back to court until I can get an address on them.
I'll add some notes just in the call that I was here and that it's a harassment thing, so we don't have to keep coming up here and...
Thank you.
All right. Sorry to bug you. Just like I said, we got to call, even if it sounds crazy, we got to come and see what's going on.
This lady, I don't even know what to say about her. It's never ending.
All right.
I have doorbell cams here.
I saw that.
After Sushi agreed with the officers that she felt like she was being harassed, she ended the conversation with,
I'm here. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Okay.
she claimed she never even had a son named Zion and that the whole thing was just some nasty scheme by her ex and his new girlfriend. But if she really had nothing to hide, why didn't she let the officers into the house? Sushi was clearly irritated and defensive, but no one really knew what was bothering her. Without a warrant, the police couldn't do anything, so they had to head back to the station to get one. DCFS and the police had plenty of reasons to investigate. Zion wasn't just some made-up name from a fantasy story. DCFS could confirm that Zion Staples existed, and Sushi was still receiving government assistance for a child named Zion. So, if he didn't exist, why were the payments coming into her account while she insisted the kid was imaginary? At the very least, it suggested possible fraud with government benefits, giving the police a solid reason to return to her house for a second visit. So, on the 26th of July 2023, just one day after the first visit, the officers came back to the house, this time armed with a valid search warrant. Right away, you can see the shift in the body cam footage. The vibe between Sushi and the police totally changed. The officers were ready to search the house, and Sushi looked way more cautious and anxious. In the end, she had no choice but to let them in. The cops didn't waste any time either. Two kept an eye on Sushi, while the other two checked the basement for any signs or traces of Zion. Meanwhile, upstairs, you could see Sushi starting to panic.
Do you know why we're here?
No, I don't. I don't know why you're here.
Okay.
And I'm really scared because my kids are upstairs and I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Can I call my family to tell them, to somebody to come?
You're not under arrest or anything like that, okay? That's why I'm sitting here talking to you, okay?
Okay, I'm scared to death because I don't know what's going on.
And so the reason we're here, okay, is because we're investigating a call that we had, okay? The officers came out and talked to you last night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We have to handle that real seriously, okay? Because the allegations are that you have a son and that he's deceased and he's here in this house. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Do you have a son named Zion?
No, I don't.
And again, when the officers asked if she had a son named Zion, Sushi just said no, and instead claimed she'd recently been a victim of identity theft. She had a story ready, and it looked like this was the one she was sticking to now.
You've never had a son named Zion?
No.
Are you claiming benefits for a kid named Zion?
No. I haven't gotten any benefits for anyone. I just recently went through a situation where a young lady stole my identity and she falsely filed my taxes and my informations and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I've been working with the FBI. I've been working with the IRS. There's been a lot of things popping up and
have you had any interactions with DCFS up in Chicago?
I did.
Okay.
False calls that were made.
Okay.
Correct.
One of the calls from 2021, DCFS came out to your residence in Chicago, and there was a Zion Staples there.
Over time, it became quite clear that the authorities were not willing to back down.
Over time, it became pretty clear that the investigators weren't backing down. They kept pressing, questioning Sushi over and over, and it seemed like she was starting to realize she was losing this battle.
We're seizing your phone, okay?
I understand you're seizing it, but that's like, I should be able to at least call my lawyer still. I shouldn't be held in my own house and not be able to call my counsel.
Well, are you requesting a lawyer right now? Because if you request a lawyer right now, we're done talking.
And then what? You're going to arrest me?
I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to search your house.
We're going to search this house upside and down. Somewhere here we need to get to the bottom of this Zion thing.
I can't
and
help
this is
it
coming
when
from
people call.
other. This is coming from other people. This is
I
getting
can't help it
mentioned.
when people call and make allegations against me. People do this every day out of spite.
And that's when Sushi finally cracked. But even at that moment, she still didn't admit that Zion was a real person.
You need to come clean because we're not going anywhere. This is just, you're just gonna dig yourself a bigger grave now. I asked you if there's anything with Zion's name in this house. You said no.
I needed some extra help, okay? That was it.
What do you mean by that?
I had a person that makes documents. And it was just really hard. Like,
So is Zion a real person?
you know, I can't call a lawyer and let them know you are here. I can't call a lawyer to come here to my house while I'm being questioned by you.
If you want an attorney right now, we can we'll just be done.
We'll be done.
All right.
But the investigation continues.
Okay.
Okay. Go and turn it off for me.
Oh, no. I'm going to jail? What am I going to jail for? What have I done?
You just admitted to fraud.
So now you're going to railroad me on fraud?
Railroad you what? We're trying to figure out where your kid is.
My
You're
kid.
saying that he doesn't
This
exist.
man, my kid. Cuff it, let me walk out.
We'll cuff you in front, okay?
This is embarrassing. I can get in the car. Do you got to take my dignity away and put me in cuffs?
We're not gonna put him behind you, okay? We're gonna walk you to the car real quick, and then we'll get you out of here, okay?
My neighbors, they've been knowing me for 6 years. You see that badge over there? I work 2 jobs at Genesis.
I hear you.
I go to school out here.
The detectives, however, had a strong gut feeling, and it turned out they were right. After Sushi was arrested and led outside, the officers decided to check out the detached garage on the property. The place was almost empty, just a few things tucked in the corners under some shelves. At first glance, everything looked normal, but in one corner, there was a trash can, hidden out of sight. That trash can immediately caught the officers' attention, and when the crime scene investigators arrived, they moved it away from the wall to see what was inside. The men noticed a really unpleasant smell, and the trash can felt insanely heavy. Inside, there was the body of a little boy, and of course it was Zion. It turns out Sushi had been lying the whole time. Even though she adamantly denied he existed, Zion was real, and yes, he was now dead, but he was just as real as all his brothers and sisters. Honestly, I just can't wrap my head around lying about the existence of your own child. Just like that. It's probably one of the most disrespectful, heartless things you could ever imagine. After the body was found, Sushi was arrested again and hit with a bunch of additional charges. But the case didn't go the way you might expect. From the start, the officers decided not to treat it as murder, but as an accidental death that Sushi tried to cover up. 2 of her other daughters admitted that they had seen their brother die. They claimed that Zion accidentally shot himself in the head after finding their mum's gun, and that it was just a huge mistake. Early autopsy results showed that the death wasn't natural, and raised suspicion. So, instead of being charged with murder, Sushi was charged with failing to report the death of a child under 13, concealing a death, obstructing justice, From the start, Sushi wasn't facing life in prison, but she still had a lot of explaining to do. I mean, a biological mum usually doesn't hide her son's body, mourn quietly, and refuse to even acknowledge he existed. To do all that, there had to be some kind of inner motivation, maybe guilt that Zion found the gun, or maybe regret over collecting government benefits for a child who was already dead. During the trial, prosecutors didn't focus on murder. They zeroed in on Sushi's negligence, the danger she created, and the fraud. According to police, Zion died from a gunshot wound, most likely accidental and self-inflicted. He apparently found a gun in the house, put it to his head, and pulled the trigger, not realizing it was loaded. Prosecutors argued that before his death, Sushi was only responsible for creating a dangerous environment for her child. But what made it even worse was what she did afterward. Instead of calling 911 or alerting authorities, she told her kids to hide their brother's body. 2 of her daughters helped place the body in a plastic container, which was then stashed in the basement right under the spot where the family usually had breakfast and dinner together. Sushi also ordered her kids to replace the carpets that had been stained with their brother's blood and tissue. Investigators noticed clear attempts to mask the smell of decomposition. The house was stacked with clothes and dryer sheets, probably to keep the smell from escaping outside and arousing neighbours' suspicion. Because of financial struggles, Sushi was able to keep collecting child benefits for Zion. Even though he was dead and she had basically erased him from existence, the payments kept coming for months. When the smell became too strong, she moved the body from the basement to the detached garage at the edge of the property. She placed him at the bottom of a large metal trash can, tucked it into a corner, and tried to hide it with other items. When the can was opened, detectives found the body Zion was wearing Spider-Man shorts. From December 2022 to July 2023, Zion's body remained on the property as a dark little secret, while his mother kept receiving all the government benefits. The money she was collecting, instead of spending it on raising him, at a previous hearing, it was determined that Zion most likely shot himself, and the medical examiner confirmed that this version was entirely possible. However, he also noted that it's impossible to prove for sure, and we might never know who actually fired the gun, leaving a lot of people thinking it could still have been murder. DCFS also reported that over the past 10 years, they'd repeatedly worked with the Staples family, investigating several cases of child abuse. But none of those cases were ever confirmed as valid. After the hearing, the judge found the case credible and wanted to move forward with a trial. Sushi, however, refused the preliminary hearings and demanded a jury trial. But before things could go any further, she made a different decision. Sushi agreed to a plea deal and pled guilty to creating a dangerous environment for the life or health of a child. This meant all the other charges were dropped, and she would only be held accountable for endangering her child.
I should have done more, and I should have made the right decision, but I just don't know what happened. I am not a criminal. I am not a monster. I am just a mother who have tried over and over again, no matter how many times I fall, to get up and do the right thing again.
After pleading guilty, Sushi was sentenced to just 2 years in prison for her role in her son's death and the financial exploitation of him. Since she had already spent 204 days behind bars, her sentence was reduced to 1 year and 5 months. The judge also recommended she be placed in a psychiatric facility, as she was suffering from an anxiety disorder at the time. On top of that, she was ordered to 6 months of supervised release after serving her sentence. But Sushi wasn't happy with the verdict. She felt the judge had been too harsh and wanted to withdraw her plea deal and get a new sentence. In a handwritten letter to the judge, she wrote, "I request a review of my sentence, as this is my first offence and I've never been to prison, and my last legal violation was over 20 years ago. I believe I deserve a deferred decision, mental health court, and probation." I won't read the rest of the letter, but the point is this. Despite putting her son in danger, letting him die, hiding his body, collecting benefits for a deceased child, and denying his existence, Sushi thought 2 years was too much. Sometimes you come across cases where the sheer audacity of the offender is just jaw-dropping. I'm always amazed at what some people are capable of when lying. Sushi was so convinced that her son didn't exist, that she even reacted aggressively to the officers. I think we've all encountered at least one narcissist in our lives. At her sentencing, Sushi claimed she wasn't a monster, just a mum who stumbled and tried again to do the right thing. Personally, I don't see anything right in this story. I'll leave that judgment up to you. That's where I'll leave it. Thank you all for watching this video. I really appreciate your attention. As far as I know, Sushi will be out of prison soon, so in a sense, that's the end of this story. Thanks again for watching and supporting the channel. I'll be back soon with a new video. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks, see you soon, and goodbye.